Jason Wisniewski here. It's the end of another year, December 2025, going into 2026. And this time of year, a lot of people are writing articles, making videos or blog posts or what have you. Looking back at the previous year, a lot of people sharing their Spotify wrapped lists, whether you do that or not. Um, I thought that I might make a video to reflect on what it means to me to be someone who plays and teaches Upper Midwestern old time traditional music um, in this day and age. I I've talked about this elsewhere, but I grew up in the Milwaukee area, and I got some of this growing up, playing like polka standards and stuff in like middle school orchestra. Didn't realize that wasn't a thing in other parts of the country until much later. But in general, I didn't realize that this cool multi ethnic uh, musical hodgepodge existed, and I found out more about it when I was researching the Irish music scene in Milwaukee for my master's thesis back in 2008. And I was reading Jim Leary's book Polkabilly, where he talks about this musical heritage that we have, and it just explains so much of what I had experienced growing up, even though I didn't realize a lot of the musical stuff was there, and it really grabbed me. And somewhere around that time, I kind of realized that there didn't seem to be a lot of knowledge of this music. I was spending most of my time at my university in California at the time, UC Santa Barbara. But back during the summers, and eventually moved back here while writing my s- still unfinished PhD dissertation. But that's neither here nor there. But it didn't seem like a lot of people were playing this music still, and a lot of people didn't realize that it existed. And if you wanna understand more about what I'm talking about with our multi ethnic old time music, I've posted a video of that. It's over a half hour. It'll keep you busy. Um, but I decided that I wanted to dedicate myself and at least some of my time. Um, I'm a dad and have bills to pay like everybody else. Uh, but I decided to dedicate myself, at least to some degree, to making this really cool music I didn't fully know about, uh, making it better known, spreading the good word, sharing these musical treasures with other people. And that's why I ended up making the old time music in the Upper Midwest Facebook group. Um, why I originally started putting videos up on YouTube as sort of a, well, I started recording videos during COVID as sort of quarantunes, when we were all trying to cheer each other up with our art, and then I started posting them online in a more permanent way, um, as sort of a database of uh, upper Midwestern tunes. They didn't have to be great or well performed, but just they were there, and if anyone wanted to learn them, they could listen to the video, slow it down, learn it by ear. Um, and as I've moved back to the upper Midwest and spent more time here, I've been trying to do more and more teaching classes, lessons. For a while, we had an upper Midwestern jam here in Milwaukee. There are other ones now. Several in Minnesota. There's one in Madison, Wisconsin. um, And I've been putting more and more of my time and effort into uh, preserving and propagating this music. And as such, I guess I feel like I have a sort of duty. I mean, we can ask ourselves, like, do we have duty to what? To whom? Um, no one, or maybe lots of people who have come before us. It's kind of up to you to decide. Um, but but for myself, I did not want to let this die, and I'm not saying it was going to die without me. That's a little self-centered, because there are a number of other people who are doing a fantastic job keeping this music going. Beth Rotto, Mary Pat Cleven, Clomhammer Mike, um, uh, Ralph Tutila. A lot of people are still keeping the flame alive. But I decided that I wanted to be a part of that. So for me, I guess I feel like I've chosen a sort of a duty to keep it going. Um, and I don't know, maybe you've heard this. The idea that tradition is just peer pressure from dead people, and it's not entirely wrong. And honestly amuses me a little bit to put it that way. Um, but we do have to make decisions about how we do that. Like no matter what we do, we always have to make decisions about what to preserve or revive or whatever, and how. And we all make different decisions. I might be a bit of a curmudgeon in terms of trying to change as little as possible. I try to pass on the things, the music that I have, the music that I've learned, um, with as little modification as possible, generally, and point people back to the sources that I got them from, which unfortunately I didn't, get to apprentice with, um, a musician of a previous generation. In part because I was out in California for a long time. I've done a lot of learning from historical recordings, done a whole lot of reading and researching, and so I have a tendency to be pointing people back towards the recordings that I learned from. Say, hey, here's how I do it. But go listen to Otto Rindlisbacher, or Bruce Bollerud, or Randy Severson. Well, we can't listen to Randy Severson. There are no recordings of her, which is super unfortunate. But going back to um, the musicians from whom I tried to learn things, even if it was at a distance in time, and sometimes geography. Um, and so I try to teach people. Well, I try to change things as little as possible and show people why, like what was happening in these older recordings, or what performance practice and social events would have been at the time, in earlier generations, um, and then give them the tools where they can take that and do with it as they like. My thing is, you know, you can change stuff, sure. Like I'm not that big of a curmudgeon, but I try to help people to know if they're gonna change something, know what you're gonna do and why. Like make it a conscious decision that, oh, okay, yeah, this I think I'm gonna play this in a different key, or I'm gonna put some ornamentation in there, and here's why I think it works or doesn't work. All of that. And I think that healthy musical communities need a combination of curmudgeons and innovators. So I might be the curmudgeon, or one of them, uh, but we all have different parts to play with that. In the last I don't know, 5 to 10 years, I've seen quite a rise uh, in people engaging with this music, both online and in person. I was talking with Mary Pat Cleven. I think I forgot to put her on my list of people who are doing stuff now before, but she's done an amazing amount of work, both with the Minnesota Fiddlers Association and in Madison with University of Wisconsin and the Scandiam Jam that they've got there. And we're still doing research and trying to dig up new tunes and all of that. But we've noticed that there's a lot more interest than there was, and that's really great. So I'm super psyched about that. Um, yeah. So I guess in part this isn't so much about me pontificating about anything, but just sort of reflecting. And I'd like to hear some of your thoughts. Like, please comment on this. I want to hear where you're coming from, what you think of the scene. Like, what do you think we need? Do we need more jams? Do we need more tune books, recordings? If you're not aware, recordings wise, the Mills Music Library at the University of Wisconsin has a ton of stuff digitized, and you can get a lot of it also with Jim Leary's, I believe, Grammy-winning book, Folk Songs of Another America. And yeah, there's a lot out there, but yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you think. Uh, Let me know what those of us who have been uh, plowing through this stuff for a long time. Let us know what we can do for you. Um, and yeah, happy holidays, happy tunage, happy jams. Uh, Enjoy.